Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'm going to be playing Cryo. In this video, I'm going to use a fan-made solo variant. I'll be playing against the Cryobot. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm all set up now to play a game of Cryo. So I'm playing a solo variant that somebody made. This is a fan-made variant that I found online. So there's a link in the description to the Board Game Geek post, as well as if you go to tablefor1.games, there's a deck of cards to print out, and I've got that file available as well. So this is the deck of cards for this solo variant called Cryobot, and then this is the fan-made piece on this side. So when you play, it's always a 4-player game. So I've got this set up as a 4-player game. I am red, and the opponents are yellow, blue, and black. And you need this deck of cards, and then the opponent drones, and that's it. You don't need any other player boards or anything for the opponent. So I am the first player, and I'll just kind of jump into it and show you how it works. But I am super excited because I really like this game, and I don't get the opportunity to play it very often. In fact, I've only played it solo using the official solo variant. I've never played a multiplayer, so this will be the closest I've ever had to an actual 4-person experience on this game. So I'm really excited, and also a bit worried because I don't think I'm very good at it. But this solo variant here, this Cryobot variant, comes with easy, medium, and hard. So we're just going to go ahead and play on medium. So let me set that deck of cards aside for a second. Besides the game being set up, I need my 5 starting cards. I can give this just a quick little shuffle too. Should be already shuffled. I always put it back in the box, shuffled. So my games are ready to go. So I've got three rams, a spider, and a crab. Let me take a look at these real quick and just give myself a refresher on what these can all do. Okay, so I'm going to keep, probably not surprisingly, a crab, a spider, and 1 ram. I'm going to discard the other 2 rams. I don't know that I need that many. And we'll put a discard pile off to the side. Okay, so these cards are in my hand. And I'm the first player, so I can start. Where do I want to go? That's a fantastic question. All right, I think I'm going to put this drone here. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to go over here. And I want this 1 nanite that I'm going to put right there. Okay, so now it's the bot's turns, and they're going to go in the same order as their pods are. So I'm first. There's yellow, blue, and black, and I've put their drones here in that order, but I'm going in that order just as a reminder because that'll be the player turn order throughout the game. So the first thing you do is you take this top card, you flip it over, and it tells you how many tiles you need before the bot can perform this action. So for hard, it would be 3 tiles, medium would be 4, easy is 5. So we're going to go with medium. So when the bot has collected 4 tiles, they're going to draw a vehicle card. This card also grants them, they've got 1 energy. So this is just their sort of goal right now. Now we're going to draw a card for yellow's turn, and you tuck it under to figure out the action. And I do want to point out these, I printed these cards in normal standard card size because that's the template that I already had, and I didn't want to make a new one. But the person who made this variant suggests US Mini because this stack of cards could get very long. But anyway, so this combination here says we're going to go to the engineering area, which is here. And then it lists the 5 docks, and it says they're going to deploy to that dock. So we're going to take this yellow, and go to the dock that's listed. And then also in engineering, it says the action. It's got a hexagon there, so we're going to take a hex. And so between the available hexes for this bot, it's going to prioritize the energy. So it just takes this and puts it there, and now it's collected one tile. So it's a quarter of the way towards performing its action. And that's it for yellow. So now blue takes a turn. And here's how I'm going to do this. So this is the last card played. Blue draws this. And if we tuck it, we see we're going to engineering again. But we're prioritizing a different spot, and we're going to recover a crew pod. So it says to go to engineering and go here, but that dock is broken. So then these 5 docks, they kind of zigzag back and forth, but you just go to the next available one to the right, and then it wraps around. So this is taken, so we go here. And regardless of where it lands, the action is it's going to recover a pod in its own color. So that one there. And that was blue's turn. So this one we don't really need anymore. I'm just going to hide it under there. All we really need to keep track of are these energy symbols, which this one didn't have. So rather than have a giant column, I'm just going to keep the cards out that I need at any one time. So black draws this card. We're going to go to R&D, and we're going to go to this space, which is right here. And we're going to collect a tile. And again, it's going to prioritize this energy over this tech. So that's 2 tiles now. And now it's back to me, so I can take a turn. And I'm going to deploy right there, and I'm going to grab this double organic and put it here, I suppose. Okay, so back to the bots. We're going to tuck that here and draw a new card for yellow. So this card gains them a second energy, and we'll come back to that later, but we're going to go to the salvage area in this space. And it says withdraw from salvage, but they don't have anyone in salvage, so we just get to skip that action. And blue is up next. So blue is going to go to engineering and go right here. It's the only spot left. And take a tile, and they're going to prioritize 2 resources over 1. Now this card I'm not going to completely hide because it's got energy, and we do want to keep track of that. So I'll just have it stick out like that so we can see 2 energy. And now it's black's turn. And they're going to go to salvage. Salvage is not an area. Dispatch. They're going to dispatch, and they're going to recover 1 crew pod. Okay. That remains. This is the bot's 3rd energy, and it's my turn again. And where do I want to go with this 3rd drone? Okay, I'm going to take this 3rd drone and go here. And take this and place it here, so I can spend either an organic or a crystal to recover a crew pod. And that was my turn, so now yellow's up. And yellow's going to go to R&D right here and recover a crew pod. Maybe I'll just put the non-energy discards over there. There we go. All right, so this goes here. It's blue's turn. Tuck this under. Now blue wants to go to engineering, but engineering is completely full, and then these are broken, so I believe they need to recall. Okay, and actually I shouldn't have waited for the card. I should have just recalled earlier once this section was full, but that's okay. I didn't break anything. So blue is going to recall, and now they are going to take one incident token, and based on the prioritization, they'll take an organic. So that just sits there for scoring. And now it's black's turn, and we'll just go ahead and resolve this one that I previously drew. Riffing a little bit, but that's okay. So black is going to deploy, and they want to deploy here, but that's broken or destroyed, so they're going to go to that dock instead and take a tile. These are both the same, so we'll just take this one. And if you notice, there are now 4 tiles here, so that's the threshold. For this is what we're trying to do, so we don't need these anymore. And it says draw a vehicle face up. So that is counted at the end of the game as being either a vehicle or a upgrade for the bot. So now all the rest of these cards also go into this discard pile. And we'll mix up these energy ones a little bit. There we go. So these are discard, and the new mission is we're going to need 5 for this medium goal, and then when they reach it, they'll launch to a small cavern. So these just go on the side over there, and now we can keep going. So that was black's turn, so I go next, and I don't have any drones left, so I'm going to have to recall. And so I don't have any salvage this time. So next I need to resolve an incident token. And I really don't think I want to sabotage because I have not recovered a crew pod and everybody else has. And I think at this point in the game, I would like an organic. So I'll put that in here. This is my area. So I get 1 organic. And now I can bring my drones back. So I'll put one here and gain a nanite. I'll bring, whoopsie, easy to forget, these drones are real, they fly away. I'm going to bring this one here, and that allows me to spend a crystal to recover a crew pod. And I'll take it out of the lab. There we go. And the third one isn't going to be able to do anything, so I'll just bring it there. So that was my turn, and now it's time for yellow, who has no more drones left, so yellow recalls. And yellow needs to resolve an incident token as well, and they're going to prioritize that sweet nanite over there. Blue is up next, so blue draws a card. And blue is going to go to the laboratory in the middle spot and recover a pod. So that's the mission there, that's active. And now black is going to recall. And they'll prioritize the crystal over a sabotage. Now it's my turn. I think I'm going to head over to dispatch. There we go. And I'm going to take that top action. I'm going to spend 2 organics. And I might as well spend 1 nanite as well. So I'm spending 3 resources to recover 3 crew pods. Oh, I guess I can't do that because I don't have room for 3. So I'll recover 2, get my nanite back, and put this one back up there. Now it's yellow's turn, so yellow draws a card. We tuck it. And they're going to go to the laboratory and get a tile. One energy. Which, again, doesn't get them any resources or anything. It's just an energy tile. How do I want to track this? Maybe I'll put this sideways. So they do have one energy, and then this is remaining for blue to go next. So blue draws a card. Blue is going to go to engineering. Here we go to this spot here by looking at these two, and recover a Cryobot. And black is next. Black is going to this space here. In dispatch, oh no, I'm sorry. That space in dispatch and exploring a cavern. And so when the bot explores, they go to the next face down large cavern. They flip it over and place one pod, prioritizing their own color if possible. And that was black's turn. So I'm up next. And I think I'm going to send a drone to dispatch again. And I'm going to take one crew pod and assign it to salvage in tech. So yellow is up next. Yellow draws a card. Going to the middle spot of the lab, which is already taken. So we keep moving to the right. And we wrap around, and they're going to prioritize the 2 organics over 1 organic when grabbing a tile. So that was yellow's turn. Blue is up next. Blue's going to go to the top left space in R&D. And so between these two, they'll take the tile with the 2 options rather than the 1. So that's the bot's 3rd tile. Again, they need 5 to perform the next big action. So this card has been used, but it's got an energy symbol, so we'll put it there. And black is up next. We draw a card. Going to R&D as well in this bottom spot, and they will take this, or I'm sorry, they're recovering a pod. So grab this pod here. Back to me. Okay, so I'm going to take this drone and deploy it here. When I take this, I'm just going to take 2 crystals rather than add it to my board. And so now it goes back to yellow, who is going to draw a card. So yellow is going to go to the bottom space of the lab, but the lab is all full except for 1 space. And yellow is going to recover a crew pod. Now it's blue's turn, and blue doesn't have any drones left, so blue has to recall. So let's bring those drones back. And then we need to take a token, and it's going to be the tech. And it's black's turn, and black can deploy. Let's draw another card. So black is going to go to dispatch, and that space is occupied. So we go here and assign one to salvage. So they're going to use their own color, and they prioritize from right to left here. So they're going to put it in this tech spot. And now it's back to me, and I need to recall. So I do have one in salvage, so I gain a tech. And now I need to resolve an incident token, and I'm going to do the sabotage token in dispatch. So that was pretty helpful for me. And now I get to recall my 3 drones. Oops. So this one goes here, and I'm going to take a nanite. So I'll put this one here, and I will spend 1 crystal to recover this crew pod. And this drone, it doesn't matter, I'll just put it here. So that was my turn. Yellow is up next, and yellow needs to recall their drones as well. And yellow's going to take this energy. Next up is blue, and blue can launch. So blue's going to launch to dispatch to this space here. And the action is recover 1 crew pod. And now black needs to recall. And black is going to take this nanite. And now it's back to me. So where do I want to go? All right, I'm going to deploy to here and assign to salvage another pod that's going to go to tech, I think. Now it's yellow's turn, and we're out of cards to draw from, so we'll just shuffle up the discard pile. Okay. Here we go. So yellow is going to go to the laboratory and recover a crew pod. Blue's next. Blue's also going to deploy. Blue's going to the laboratory to this bottom left spot and taking a tile. So that's 4 tiles, 1 more tile, and they can take their action. And black is next. Black draws. Black is going to go to engineering and recover a crew pod. Back to me. And I suspect I'm not doing enough with my cards. But I'm going to come here and I'm going to take this and I'm going to use it to draw a card. Okay, so I've drawn a card. So there's a rhino. And I'm also going to scrap this. I think I need to do more scrapping and gain 2 organics from it. Okay, next up is yellow. It's going to draw a card and deploy. And yellow is going to go to dispatch to the top left and explore a cavern. So they're going to choose this one, the next large one. Okay, blue is up next. Blue is going to engineering. That'll be the spot. No, middle, the spot. And we'll take a tile. So from there, they're going to prioritize this tile. And that makes 5 tiles, which is enough for this action. So they're going to launch to a small cavern. There's only one small one that is open, and that's this one. And to get there, they need 1, 2 energy, which they have. They've got 3 energy. Unlike the players, the bot launches to a specific cavern, not to a tunnel. So they're going to take all of their pods up to the number of tiles that I needed and put them there. So I needed 5 tiles. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pods. So they're going to grab, 7's more than 5. So they're going to grab 5, prioritizing yellow, whose turn it was. No, it's blue's turn. It's blue's turn. They're going to prioritize blue. So 4 of those and 1 other, and it'll probably be black, because that would be smarter on the bot's part. And so now these go away, this goes away, and they get, and these go away. Just kind of mix those in there somewhere. And now the bot gets a new action. So now they're trying to get 4 tokens to draw a vehicle card. And it's black's turn next. So black is going to dispatch to the next space to the right. And withdrawing from salvage. So that'll be this right here. So this is still the goal. This is the last face-up card, and now it's back to my turn. And I'm going to deploy here because I really want that tile, and I want it there. 1 tech and 1 crystal. Okay, so yellow is up next, and yellow is going to draw a card and deploy. So yellow is going to R&D, and they want to go here, but it's occupied, so they go to the right, and they're going to recover a crew pod. Blue is up next, and blue needs to recall. And all of the incident tokens are sabotage. So if we look at the leftmost available space, think of it as +1 point for my pod, -1 point for any bot pods. So this one is +1, -1. This would be worth 0 to them. This would be worth -1, -1. And here it would be +2 and -5, so -3. So 0, a wash, is their best bet. So that's where they're going to sabotage. Maybe I should have played my spider as a tech, but that's okay. Now I got to replace that token. And black is up next, and black is going to deploy. So black's going to engineering to the bottom right and taking a token. That's going to be this one. So that's the first token of this mission. So now I need to recall. So first I gain 2 tech from salvage. 1, 2. And now I need to resolve an incident token. And I don't really want the 1 tech because my tech is already full. So I'm just going to sabotage this blue one because blue seems to have more pods in the caverns. I don't want them to get this pod. Okay, and now I recall my drones. So let's bring this one back here and get a nanite. And bring this one here. Whoops. I can can spend a crystal or an organic to recover a pod, and I think I'm actually going to spend a nanite. Well, no, that's silly. Let's do the organic. We'll spend one organic and recover a crew pod. Where do I want to do that? Let's do that. And the third drone comes back and doesn't have anything it can do right now. We'll go there. Now yellow's up, and yellow needs to recall. And yellow's going to take the tech token. Blue's up next. Blue is going to launch a drone to R&D to the bottom right corner and take a token. It's going to be this nice double tech token. And now black recalls. And black will take the crystal. So back to me. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to launch this drone here, and I'm going to spend 3 techs for 3 cards. 1, 2, 3, and I think I'm just going to play 3 cards. I'm not going to draw any. I'm going to take this rhino and play it as a vehicle. There we go. I'm going to play the ram as a tech, which allows me to place my drones on damaged docks. And I'm going to take the spider and make it a mission. So I'll just put it over here on the side. Maybe I can slide this all down a little. Normally those would be face down, but I'll get 2 points at the end of the game for every pod that I leave in the salvage area. So I might just leave them all there. So that was this turn. Next up is yellow, and yellow's going to deploy. So let's take this used card, put it here, draw a new card, tuck it under. We're going to the bottom left space of dispatch to recover 1 crew pod. Next up is blue. We're going to R&D to the top right space, which is full. So we wrap around to the right and now take a token, which will be this one, which is the 3rd. So we need 1 more token for the bot to take their, to complete their mission. And black is going to deploy as well, going to engineering to the bottom right space and recovering a crew pod. So now I'm going to deploy, and I'm going to take this drone and go here. And I'm going to assign 1 crew pod to salvage, and I'm going to go to organics. Now yellow is going to deploy. This one's been used. Go to the top left space of R&D and recovering a crew pod. Blue is next, but blue is going to recall because this area is full, so blue's not going to draw a card. So blue recalls and takes this token with a card. So we're in the back half of the game now. Black is up next, and black can deploy. So we take this card here, tuck it under. We're going to go to the bottom middle of engineering, which is full. So we move to the right and take a tile, which will be this one, the only tile available there. Get rid of this, leave this here, and we now have 4 tiles, which is enough for this medium card to trigger. So they're going to draw a vehicle face up. There they go. That's for the end of the game. So the whole stack goes away, and that was the end of the stack by coincidence. So we're just going to shuffle the whole thing together. Just kind of put these energy cards scattered throughout. And that was Black's turn. So the next mission, let's move these tiles. Is to draw a mission. So when they complete this one, they'll draw a card and it'll go face down and they'll score it as a mission at the end of the game. So now it's my turn. I've got one more turn here before I'm forced to recall. And I'm going to go here. So I'm really looking to put that tile there. Yellow's up next. So this first card here is going to go to the laboratory in the bottom right, which is damage. So we're going to go here instead. And take a tile. Blue is up next. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe I should have been doing this the whole time. Going to engineering here. And doing what? Taking a tile. That'll be this one. That's 2 tiles. Now I see I've made a mistake. I forgot that I can deploy to destroyed docks. I should have put my drone there, but that's okay. No big deal. In any case, engineering is all full. So Black is going to have to recall. And take this incident token. And now it's my turn, and I'm going to recall. So first I take my salvage. I get 1 organic and 2 tech, and then resolve an incident token. And I think I'd like the energy. Presumably, I'm going to need that at some point here. That's a lot of sabotage. Okay, so let's bring these drones back. This one comes here, and I get a nanite. I should probably start spending some because that's full now. I'll bring this one back and put it here, which says spend an organic to gain a crystal and a tech. Pretty nice. And the last one comes back to here, and that allows me to spend a crystal or an organic, and I'll spend a crystal to recover a pod. Now I know yellow is going to recall next. So let me look at the calculus. Since all of the incident tokens are sabotage, I'm going to have to sabotage something. So can I save one of my pods? Is that possible? Yes. I'm going to grab this one from engineering. Place it right there. Great. I've got a ton of resources. I need to start making some use of them. And quickly. So yellow's up next. Yellow has no drones, so yellow's going to recall. And if we look at the 4 sabotage tokens here, this would net them a 1, -1, -1. So -1, that would be a -1. This would be a -1, and that space there would be a -3. So they won't take the -3. And all other things being equal, they don't want to destroy more of their pods, I don't think. And the rule sheet here says to prioritize the chamber with the most player pods and least bot pods. And so I'm not really sure. This is kind of equal to me. So I think I will prioritize the one up top because I think they would rather save even though they destroy one of mine, it causes them to lose 2, whereas that's lose just 1 in total. And it's more to the left as opposed to this one. So I don't really know exactly how that should be resolved in this particular instance, but I think that's very reasonable. So we'll sabotage there. A lot of sabotaging going on. So blue is up next. Blue is going to deploy. I hope you're enjoying, by the way. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, all the baby noises from upstairs, in case you're wondering what was going on there. So bottom left to engineering. That's the next closest spot. And take a tile, this one. It's 3 out of 4 tiles. They're moving pretty quick. Black is next. Black is going to engineering as well, and they're going to recover a pod. Back to me. And so I'm going to go here. And I'm going to recover crew pods. I'm going to spend 1 organic and 2 nanites to recover 3 pods. And I've got space on this rhino here. At some point, I should probably put some pods down in the caverns. Yellow is next, and yellow is going to deploy. This can go here. So yellow is going to the top left space of R&D and recovering a pod. And there are no more yellow pods here, so they're going to just take a different pod from this chamber. So let's go blue. Don't know that it particularly matters. This has been used. Blue is up next. And yellow shouldn't have even gone because this is all full. Whoopsie. Well, we'll have blue go ahead and recall. Not the end of the world. So blue recalls and needs to sabotage something. And so they're going to sabotage this one. Take out one of my pods and one of their pods. They meaning bot. And now black is up. Black is going to deploy to the bottom middle of engineering. So we got to move 1 spot to the right and take a token. They'll take this one. And that is 4 tokens now. That's all this card needed. So now they draw a face down mission card. So I've got a mission. All this stuff gets discarded. Draw a new card. The new mission is recover 1 crew pod after collecting 4 tiles. So that was black's turn. Back to me. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to explore. So I need to pay 1 energy and 1 nanite. And I can take one of these crew pods and put it on a face-down cavern connected to a face-up cavern. So I think I'll go here. See if I can snag this large one, which is very expensive to get into and worth 4 points. So that seems good. Yellow is up, and yellow can deploy. So yellow's going to go to the top right space of the laboratory and collect a tile. I don't remember what I said before. This mission is not to recover a crew pod. This mission is to launch to a small cavern. Okay, that was yellow's turn. Blue is up next, and blue can launch as well. Or deploy, I should say, to engineering. There's only 1 spot open in engineering, so here. And recover a crew pod. Black is up next, but engineering is totally full, so black needs to recall. And, oh, now they gain this token here. I hope their mission does not give them points for all those tokens. So they've sure got a lot. So I can deploy 1 more drone. I'm going to send that drone here. and assign one pod to salvage. And I'm going to go to organics, I think. No, I'm going to go to crystal. Okay. Yellow is up next, and yellow can deploy. Oops. Yellow is going to the top left space in dispatch. So we have to move to the right. And withdraw from salvage. And they have no one in salvage, so nothing to do. Blue is up next, and blue can also send out a drone. Going to salvage as well. To the bottom right, which is the only one available. And the action is assign to salvage, and they're going to prioritize from the right, so they're going to assign to tech. This is interesting. So black is up next. So black needs to recall because dispatch is full, but black has no drones to recall, so they're only going to do the incident token, which is going to be this organic. And the incident stacks are getting low, so I've got to start working on the end game here. But I'm going to recall. So first I recover salvage, so I'm going to gain 2 tech. That's a waste. 1 organic and 1 crystal. Then I resolve an incident token, and it's going to have to be sabotage. Oh, and that's great. I'm going to do that in dispatch. Take out 4 enemy pods and none of mine. And now let's bring back my drones. The first is going to go here and get me a nanite. The second is going to go here. I'm going to spend a nanite. No, I'll spend an organic. It doesn't matter. I'll spend an organic to recover a crew pod. That one seems good. And the last drone, I'll go here, and I can spend an organic to gain a tech and a crystal. I could replace the organic with a nanite, but I can't even hold the tech, so I would only get a crystal. And I don't know that I want to trade a nanite for a crystal when I could just do that at any time anyway, so I guess I'll skip that. So yellow's up next. Yellow needs to recall. Oh, and I didn't replace that incident token. So yellow's recalling. And yellow's going to have to sabotage something. So this would be a net -1, net -1, net -6, net -2. So it's going to be one of these two. And I guess since it's yellow, they're not going to want to sabotage their own. So we'll sabotage this one. There we go. Blue is up next, and blue can deploy. So the bottom left space of the laboratory. And gain a token. And this has an energy. Next up is black, who can also deploy. So black's going to go to R&D to the top left. And it says to recover a pod. They don't have any pods there, so then they would recover any other pod from the bot, but there are no other pods there, so then they take a tile instead. The bot always does something. So it's a third tile. So I'm now realizing the tiles will start to go quicker, or these objectives will be completed quicker towards the end of the game when there's fewer pods to recover. So now it's me, and I feel like I might want to launch to try and get some points. But I also don't have much energy, so I should get some energy as well. Yeah, I'm going to deploy here, and I'm going to spend 2 crystals and a nanite to gain 3 energy. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 4 energy now. And yellow's up next. Yellow is going to deploy to the bottom right space of R&D and take a tile. And that is the 4th tile. So now they're going to launch to a small cavern. There's only one small cavern available. That's this one. So they don't really have any options. It says that they would prioritize first one that the player controls. And if there's none that the player controls, then one that's empty. And if there's none that's empty, then one where I have a presence. So they're just kind of stuck. They have to go here. The cost is 2 energy, which they do have. They've got 3 energy. And this was, yellow just did this. So yellow is going to deploy as many pods as they have up to this limit of 4. So 4 pods. So this is a pretty crowded small cavern. I don't know if that was an optimal move, but there you go. So now we clear these. And we just keep going from the deck that's there. So the new objective is going to be 4 tiles, and it lets them draw a vehicle. So blue is next. Blue needs to recall. 1, 2, 3 drones. And they'll take this energy on the last stack here of incident tokens. Black is up next, and black can deploy. So we're going to go to the bottom middle of R&D. Moving to the right, they'll go there, and they take a token. So they've got 1 token now. So where am I headed with my drone? All right, I'm going to deploy to this destroyed dock, which I can do because of my tech. And I'm going to take this top action, spend up to 3 tech for 3 card actions. So I'm going to spend 3 tech, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to draw 1 card and then play 2. Got a shark, and I said I'm going to play 2, so I'm going to take crab and play it for the tech. So each of your vehicles can hold 1 additional crew pod. Oh, and what is the other half of that? I didn't even look. When you take a stasis control action, reduce the cost by 1 organic. That would have been helpful sooner. That's okay. And this second one, I'm going to play it as a vehicle. And so shark can now hold 4. So I'm going to transfer these 3 here. And then this one here as well. So I'm getting ready to launch, I think. And yellow is next. Yellow can deploy. So yellow is going to go to the top left space of dispatch and recover a crew pod. On blue's turn, blue can deploy. So blue's going to go to the top right space of the laboratory. Also recover a crew pod. And black can do likewise. Black can deploy, going to the bottom left space of the laboratory. And recovering a crew pod. So now it's to me, and I'm going to launch. I take that back. I want to launch, but not yet. Instead, I'm going to go, I think, to this damaged space here. Take this tile and gain the resources on it. So 1 crystal and 1 organic. I think I've still got enough time to do that. So yellow is up next. Yellow can deploy, so we've got to shuffle this discard pile. So yellow deploys to dispatch to the top right and withdraws from salvage. And they don't have one in salvage, but there is a blue. So we'll withdraw 1 bot from salvage. And this has an energy, so we'll put it up there. blue is up next. Blue can deploy. So we're going to go to the bottom right spot of the laboratory, which is destroyed. So we go to the right, take a tile. And black is next. Black has to recall. And looks like black's going to have to sabotage again. And they're going to sabotage the laboratory. That does the least damage to the bot. And they couldn't do any damage to me. So now it's my turn. Oh, and I've got to recall myself. Okay. So what's the first thing I do is take salvage. So 2 tech, 1 organic and crystal. Then I resolve an incident token. And why don't I go ahead? I mean, I kind of want the nanite, but it seems silly not to destroy 5 enemy pods. So let's do the pods. And sunset is coming. So let's bring my drones back. So I gain nanite here. And I can spend an organic to gain a crystal and a tech. That's good. And I can spend another organic to recover a crew pod. And let's go with this one. Just in the off chance I could blow up that chamber. Might as well put these here while they're waiting. And yellow is next. Yellow has to recall. Yellow is going to take the nanite incident token. And the sundown token is out, but the bot will always prioritize that last. Blue is next, and blue can deploy. So blue is going to the bottom middle of engineering, which is damaged. So here instead, and taking a token. There are no tokens around it, so we just grab it from over here. And black is next. Black can deploy. Black is going to engineering and recovering a crew pod. Black doesn't have a pod, so black's going to take that yellow one instead. And now it's back to me, and now I can launch. Thank goodness for that. So let's launch here. And I'm going to go here. So 1, 2, 3 energy. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to deploy this vehicle. And I'm going to go to both chambers. So I need to spend 2 crystal. I've got 4, so I'll put 2 in each chamber. So I'll try and take both of these over. And that should get me some points. This is discarded. And now it's to yellow, who will deploy. So yellow is going to go to the top left of R&D and recover a crew pod. And there's not one to recover, so instead they will take a tile. That is the 4th tile. So that's enough to complete that objective, which is draw a vehicle face up. Another crab. These tokens can go off to the side. And we draw a new mission, which will be draw another vehicle, face-up card. So it's to blue, who's going to recall. The day is reaching its end, but there is this incident token for blue to take. Black can deploy, going to the bottom right of the laboratory, which is destroyed, so we wrap around to the right. And we are taking a token, and there are no tokens there to take, so we grab it from here. And back to me. This game might be over quick, so I think I'm going to explore. Let's go here. or scout, that action is called. So I'm going to spend 1 energy down to 0 and 1 nanite down to 1 to place a crew pod and a face down tile attached to a face up one. Let's go to this distant one. I think I've got a decent shot of holding that. Yellow is next, and yellow can deploy. So yellow is going to the top right spot of R&D and taking a token. Next up is blue, who can also deploy. Going to the bottom left spot of the laboratory and taking a crew pod. And black can deploy as well. Going to the bottom left spot of R&D and taking a token. All right, back to me. I got another turn, and I'm going to actually go here to this destroyed space that I can land on and take this action. I'll spend 3 tech. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw 2 cards and play 1. So mole and a spider. Okay, I'm going to play the mole as a mission. Then I'm going to scrap this spider, I think, for the 1 tech and 1 organic. So that's gone. And yellow is up next. Yellow can still deploy. So yellow is going to go to the bottom right space of dispatch and recover 1 crew pod, which they cannot do. And I may have messed this up earlier, so they can't recover a crew pod from there. So in place of that, they're going to explore. I'm not sure if I did that right previously. So by default, they would explore a large cavern, and they're the first large cavern available, but since those are all explored, they'll take the first small cavern available, which is this one, and put a crew pod there. So that was yellow's turn. Blue is up next, and blue can deploy. So blue's going to go to the top right space of dispatch. And again, recover 1 crew pod, which can't be done, so they're going to explore here instead. Next up is black, who has to recall. So we take all the drones back, and they're going to have to choose a sabotage, and they'll choose this one, so that doesn't hurt them. And I'm up next. I need to recall, so I take my salvage, so 2 tech, 1 crystal, 1 organic, and resolve 1 incident token. I'm going to do this sabotage, and since this is all full, I can sabotage any other section, and I'll do the one where I don't have any pods. And now I bring my drones back, and it looks like this is my last turn of the game as well. I won't get to do another action, but let's take the nanite. Oh, I can get a crew pod still. So let's spend an organic to gain a crew pod. I guess we can keep them here now. And the third one comes back, and I can spend... That won't really matter. If I needed another tech, it would matter. So I'll just skip the action. Now it goes to yellow, who's going to recall. And they're forced to take the sunset token. So that's it. That's the end of the game. Now we need to score it. So I'll do this off to the side. But the first scoring criteria is 2 points for each crew pod in a cavern. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 12 points for me. Yellow has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12 for yellow. Blue has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10. And black has 1, 2. So that's 4 points. So yellow had the most at 12. So we use the highest score. So the bot gets 12. Then 1 point for each vehicle and upgrade. So I've got 1 vehicle and 2 upgrades, so 3 points for me. And here we count all the face-up cards for the bot. 1, 2, 3. 3 points for the bot. Now 1 for each pod on the platform. So I've got 2, and the bot has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is quite a bit. Now let's do cavern majorities. So this one's empty, nobody gets it. This small one, blue and yellow are each tied for the max. So that means each blue and yellow scores for the lower number, which is 2 for that cavern. Yellow gets 2 for this one. I get 3 for this, and black gets 0. Blue gets 3 here. I get 5 for this, and yellow gets 3. And then these two are uncontested. I get 4 and 3. So that leaves me with a total of 15 for cavern majorities. And we're going to add together the others. Yellow had 7, blue has 5, black has 0, so that's 12. So the last thing we need to look at is the missions. So let's look at the bots missions. They only have 1. It was the shark, which is 1 point for every 2 materials you have remaining. So to calculate that, the instructions say count the number of resource tiles left in the bot component area. I take that to mean these are the ones left, 3 tiles. So that's 3 points. I don't take it to mean this entire stockpile. So let's look at my missions now, and I had 2. For mole, 1 point for each resource tile on your platform. For some reason, I thought it was leftover resources, not tiles. Whoops. So that's only 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. And the other one, spider, was memorial. 2 points for each of your crew pods assigned to salvage. So 2, 4, 6, 8 points. So that was 12 in total for my mission. So if I total up the whole thing, I come up with a score of bot 39, narrator 44. So I win by 5. Unless, of course, they get a point for every one of those tiles in that giant pile, and then I got smoked. So I don't think that's the case. So thank goodness they didn't get points for all those tiles or for all the incident tokens up there. That really would have been a problem. So this was cool. It was way different than the normal Cryo solo mode that I've got experience with. And it was fun. I would do this again. It was not difficult to manage. I know I made a couple of rules blunders as I went, but I called out all the ones that I was aware of. So again, the rules for this, you can find a link in the description to the Board Game Geek post where you can find those rules. And on tablefor1.games, you can download these cards. I got permission from the person who made them. I don't have permission for this box art logo that I put on the back, so they might ask me to take it down. I don't know, but worst case, you can find just the fronts on that Board Game Geek post. So that was the Cryobot variant of Cryo, and I really liked it, and I hope you did too. If you're still here, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, and share, and always leave comments. I'm happy to hear your comments. Let me know what you think of this. But yeah, always happy to have an excuse to play Cryo. I don't get this game out nearly as much. Just, man, I love the artwork. The components are great quality. Super happy with this game. So that's what I've got this week. I will see you next time on Table for One. Have a awesome week.